Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the next edition of the Losers Lounge podcast. It's great to be back here. First time you've heard from us in a few weeks because the last time we discussed things was AEW Double or Nothing. We're conveniently back here to talk about more AEW, but in addition to that, there's also New Japan Pro Wrestling. That's going to be exciting as well because, ladies and gentlemen, this Sunday is AEWxNJPW Forbidden Door 2023, which this time is going to be different because it's taking place not in the United Center in Chicago, but rather in my kingdom of Toronto at Scotiabank Arena. Oh, first time ever that AEW is hosting a pay-per-view in Canada. And I said before that they really should be hosting a pay-per-view in Canada. I was hoping for that first time they were ever in Toronto. We ended up getting in addition to Dynamite with tickets that sold for over $1,000, which was ridiculous. This time it's a lot different because, well, it's not just an AEW event, it's a New Japan event, so it's two for the price of one, in a way. The way I look at it, this event is what I would call the best of three worlds. I'll get to the best of three worlds in a moment, but first, please welcome, as always, one of the best ever to ever be on this podcast with me. That is the one and the only, the heelest of Ballers.
Wait a minute, Brother Maracle. Wait a minute. I'm the one and only. So basically, I shaved my head and started doing flippy dives and stuff at the top rope. Just call me Ricochet.
Wrong guy.
Exactly. What's up, everybody?
Wait, did you actually shave your head?
No, dude. I'm actually my hair's kind of I'm getting older, obviously, so my hair's kind of falling out. So a little bit. I'm gonna say falling out, but it's showing its age.
Basically, you're saying you're balding.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. All right.
Fun.
Anyways, though, how you been?
I'm pretty good, just chilling out, honestly. Just got back from an outing and ready to talk the podcast and all that stuff. You know what's up?
Yep, Forbidden Door. Last year, we were unable to discuss on the podcast of the first ever Forbidden Door event, and the reason for that is because I was on vacation in Orlando, Florida, and when I conveniently got back, Heel Balor went on a vacation to Florida.
Hell yeah, dude.
So, we were both gone and busy. And I still remember that time in Orlando with my bro Long Night Josh. It was so amazing and such a great time. I honestly think I should redo that one day.
Yeah.
However, last year's Forbidden Door took place at United Center in Chicago, Illinois. And I would say it was a success. Because, they did a good job. Since it's a crossover event, a lot of the times, storylines doesn't really matter that much. So in this case, we're okay with it.
Hey, you know what's up?
A lot of these matches were put together for random reasons because it's one AEW guy against an NJPW guy, but that's just how crossover pay-per-views work. It's like Survivor Series when they did the brand wars.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just about this and that. That's the one thing that's most important. This time, like I mentioned, it's the best of three worlds, and the reason for that is because it's a company from the United States, a company from Japan, in a crowd of Canadians. That's amazing because, well, up here in Canada, especially in Toronto, and places like Montreal, we got some of the most passionate fans in pro wrestling. So imagine how that's going to be like when over 13,000 screaming fans are selling out that Scotiabank Arena for Forbidden Door. It's absolutely wild. I can't wait to be part of it. I got my tickets. I got some really good seats. In addition to that, I will also be at AEW Collision the night before on Saturday, June 24th, also at Scotiabank Arena.
Nice.
Tickets, okay, they didn't sell as much as they did for Forbidden Door because they sold only 5,000. But the reason for that is because they didn't exactly use up all the spaces. They wanted to save all that mostly for the pay-per-view. So, you don't want to blow everything before the real show arrives.
I don't blow your load already. So.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
Yeah, exactly.
What I will ask, though, Willie, is what did you think when they announced that not only Forbidden Door returning this year, but they also announced that it was going to be in Toronto?
Okay, my first reaction was like, well, I slightly enjoyed last year outside of the injuries and stuff like that. Injuries aside, the show was really, really fun. Then being in Canada, probably one of my favorite crowds out there. Canadian fans are always rambunctious and crazy. Everybody calls it Bizarro Land and stuff like that, so you might as well call it that. And, them going to Scotiabank Arena, good place, I've heard. And Canadian fans, like I said, always great to hear their voices about that. And AEW and New Japan are going to bring it. Very excited for this show.
Yep.
Very excited.
As you guys know, the Scotiabank Arena in Toronto, home of two sports teams for basketball and hockey, Maple Leafs for hockey and Raptors for basketball. Neither one, of course, did anything for championships. However, the Maple Leafs, at least this time, they made it past round one in the playoffs for the first time in like almost 20 years.
Ouch.
I'm from Toronto, and even I make fun of my own teams.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
You're not a real sports fan if you don't make fun of your own team.
Yeah.
I can't really say that, but there you go.
Yeah.
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 Wrong.
We'll talk about that dude.
Week.
We'll talk about that dude next week when we talk Money in the Bank. However, I will say it's like the Toronto is a magnificent place. Especially, it's one of the biggest. It's practically, I think, the biggest city in Canada.
That's wild.
Its own, and shockingly enough, you know how big it is. It's about half the size of New York City.
I know, buddy, who can relate to that one. So there you go.
Yep, I've been to New York City. It's a nice place.
Never been.
Might want to put that on your bucket list. Although I will give you a little warning. Don't ever try and drive in there because the traffic will suck.
Oh, I got on drive anyways. Nor do I plan to, so I'm good.
But it's okay though. I don't really like to drive into the city of Toronto either because it gets extremely busy. That's why I always take a train. There's always there's a train station that literally is like a 5-minute walk from the arena, so it works.
That's nothing.
Yep, that's why I said. So that's why I'm like, drive up to the station, get on the train, enjoy myself while relaxing. Watch. The best part about driving on the but riding the train into Toronto is you're right beside the highway a lot, and you could just see a massive traffic jam, and you're like, bye.
Exactly.
So, when I first heard about AEW and New Japan putting up Forbidden Door in Toronto as the start of, as they called it, a Canadian tour, because they're touring Canada throughout majority of July as well.
That's cool.
Places in like Winnipeg and Regina, Calgary, Saskatoon. My God, this is going to be amazing. And also, this upcoming Wednesday and Thursday, not Saturday, but Thursday, AEW Dynamite and Collision will be in Hamilton, Ontario, and those tickets, they were not doing so good because AEW had a really bad habit of overpricing things. As a matter of fact, Willie, you know how, like, Collision in Toronto for this Saturday was not really selling that well? That was mostly because the price of a minimum ticket was $150.
Shoot, that's wild.
That's absolutely wild. For a non-pay-per-view event. That's ridiculous. So, they lowered the prices and put up some deals, and then conveniently the tickets started selling. People can go ahead and say that a certain somebody was the one responsible for all those tickets flying. But I'm like, I've been paying attention. I didn't get my ticket until the prices went down. And conveniently when I did, everybody else did. I'm like, everybody and their mother was thinking the same thing.
There you go.
It's pretty obvious. That's why you don't overprice your tickets for these things. I still think in some ways Dynamite and Collision set for Hamilton are overpriced. That's why Hamilton's Collision event sold less than 1,000 tickets. And that's ridiculous.
There you go.
Absolutely ridiculous. Oh, notification. Or the anonymous Raw general manager.
No, it's not. It's one of my buddies. Anyways, keep going.
Hope everything is going good, and hope whoever that buddy was, hope he's doing great.
That was pretty good.
Excellent. But yeah, it was in March, heading into WrestleMania, when I got the notification about Forbidden Door in Toronto, and I was ecstatic, because I was like, oh my god, they actually did it. They're actually not only doing an AEW event, but also a New Japan event. I instantly went and got my tickets. I got 2 tickets. I'm taking a friend of mine who used to be in a metal band with me back in like the early 2010s. And he's also a big fan of AEW and WWE. And the cool thing about this is, like, you're not going to get many opportunities to see New Japan Pro Wrestling in Canada. So that's why, seize the moment while you can.
Oh, for real, dude.
13,000 tickets were sold within a couple of hours on a pre-sale.
Jeez.
Yeah, that is absolutely wild. It goes to show how much power New Japan has.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't wait to talk the matches that we got set up for Forbidden Door. We have 10 matches to talk about. and a lot of people from AEW and a lot of people from New Japan Pro Wrestling. We may have a couple other things we'll discuss as well here or there because a certain somebody is being brought up again. So, But until then, I want to also ask you, Willie, what do you think about AEW setting up that new show, Collision?
What's my thoughts on Collision? I watched the first episode. Loved the first half of it with Punk cutting the promo. Then the match after that was all right, I guess, with Wardlow and Luchasaurus for the. It was pretty good. Then the second half died for me. After that, I went downhill after Wardlow lost the TNT Championship, in my opinion. Is it the worst show I've seen? By far, no. But it just really, it's not really for me, honestly. I'll stick to Dynamite, and I'll pretty much stick to other things. So it's not really for me. If you like it, people, all the power to you. I don't care for it.
Yes, indeed. I really also believe that, they have a good shot of it. I will be at Collision this Saturday, and they did announce a couple of interesting matches taking place there from the likes of Swerve Strickland is going to be taking on Hiroshi Tanahashi.
Ace.
Yep. We got Andrade El Idolo taking on Brody King.
Nice.
Nyla Rose is taking on Willow Nightingale in the first of the Owen Hart tournament, which, by the way, folks, we're going to talk about first. But before we get there, I just want to say, of course, we got an 8-man tag. It's CM Punk, Ricky Starks, and FTR against, who the fuck was it? The Guns?
I guess so.
Yeah, I think it was the Guns. I was watching Dynamite literally last night. Why am I not remembering this?
There you go.
The Guns, Switchblade, Jay White, and Juice Robinson. That's the one. That's the ones. An 8-man tag action. So they actually managed to stack up Collision really good the night before Forbidden Door. So I'm looking forward to that. It should be fun. It should be exciting. But we're going to kick things off and talk about the Owen Hart tournament because it is back for the second year in a row. Only this time, the entire tournament is taking place throughout the Canadian tour, culminating in Calgary.
Cool.
Which I think is amazing. When I first saw that, I thought that the finals would be at Forbidden Door. I was like, oh no, it's actually going to start in Forbidden Door. So, lucky
Makes
me,
sense.
I get to see the first matches. I mean, there's one that's going to take place on. Here's the thing. It's at the time of release, folks. It's Friday, June 23rd. So one of the matches is taking place on Rampage tonight. I've not looked up anything, but I'm probably not going to watch Rampage anyway. So it really doesn't matter to me.
Who doesn't? No offense.
Yeah, Rampage is an absolute failure. We all know that. Okay. So, when it comes to the Owen Hart Cup last year, the winners were conveniently, a couple. Adam Cole Bebe and Dr. Britt Baker DMD.
Yes, sir.
Which I still don't... I still think that kind of cheapens the whole thing because, it was kind of obvious.
Exactly.
Yep. The tournament itself was really good because, we had a number of good matches to watch. In this case, we're going to run through the brackets. We're going to start with talking about the women's brackets here. First off, we got Dr. Britt Baker DMD facing off against Ruby Soho, and that's going to take off next Wednesday on Dynamite in Hamilton, of which I will be a part of again.
That's cool.
But tonight on Rampage, it's Sky Blue taking on Anna Jay.
Aye.
And then, of course, this Saturday on Collision in Toronto, which I will be part of as well, it's Willow Nightingale and Nyla Rose, as I mentioned. And then, of course, on the Forbidden Door pre-show, it's going to be Athena versus Billy Starks. So there we go.
Okay.
Seems to me like we have a really decent lineup. 8 participants, 8 women for the women's tournament, 8 men for the men's tournament. I think the reason we're doing this is because, the Canadian tour ain't going to last that long, so got to get your matches in as we can. As for the men's tournament, we have, starting off in Forbidden Door, which is going to be a match we'll talk about in a moment. It's Satoshi Kojima versus CM Punk, and the next 3 matches will take place also on Collision in Hamilton. So I'm excited for this. Roderick Strong is going to take on Samoa Joe. Juice Robinson is taking on Ricky Starks, and Dustin Rhodes is taking on Powerhouse Hobbs. Could you imagine, honestly, if we could potentially see a rematch between Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks if they go through with it, and a big rematch with CM Punk and Samoa Joe.
Yeah, I think everybody wants that one.
Yeah, I feel as for the women's side, I'm just gonna go ahead and say I'm at least hoping that whoever wins these tournaments, it ain't gonna. Now that I look at it, yeah, no one in the tournaments are a couple in real life, so good.
Good. Make it unpredictable, which is good.
Well, I would actually say the men's match is unpredictable because CM Punk's in it.
Not true.
Yeah.
Still don't mean he's winning.
Yep. As we know, we're talking Forbidden Door, so on the Forbidden Door pre-show, we don't usually talk a pre-show match, but this is part of the Owen Hart Cup Foundation tournament. So, we'll briefly put through with this. Athena is taking on Billie Starkz, and I will just say, I am really disappointed in how Athena was booked in AEW.
Was or is? I mean, she's not even in AEW anymore. She's like in ROH
she's in
right now.
Ring of Honor. Which
Okay,
I would say she's done a lot better in Ring of Honor. I don't know. I haven't exactly been keeping up, but for what people have been telling me, yeah, she's done a lot better in Ring of Honor than she ever did on AEW.
There you go.
And I'm like, well, duh. You'd want to she's a great talent. You'd want to make sure that she's doing well. Otherwise, why the hell did you bring her in?
Exactly.
I'd probably say Athena is likely going to win this. Billie Starkz, sorry, folks. I don't know who that is.
I don't know much about her. I really don't.
Go ahead and crucify me if you want, folks, but I'm sorry. I just don't know who that is. But whoever it is, I'm going to find out this Sunday in Toronto. So,
Mm-hmm.
Unless I arrive a little late, or I'm just hanging out at Tim Hortons, which is also attached to Scotiabank Arena, enjoying a nice meal. Willie, who do you think would win out of Athena and Billie Starkz?
Billie Starkz. There you go.
All right. At least I say Athena, you say Billie Starkz. Okay, it's 1-1.
Mm-hmm.
As for, also Nyla Rose, Willow Nightingale, which is this Saturday at Collision, I'd honestly say Willow Nightingale is going to take that one.
There you go.
With all due respect, they're just not doing much with Nyla Rose, which is a shame because she's also a great talent. A lot of people are just constantly talking shit, because she's transgender, which, by the way, folks, we're not going to make a huge deal about the fact that it's Pride Month on here because it's a pretty touchy subject nowadays. And what I will say,
it's kind of almost over.
Yeah, it's honestly just time to let go of the hatred, folks. That's all I'm going to say about it. Just let go of the hatred. Let people be what they want to be. Moving on, though. Yes, I would say Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, Ruby Soho. I'm honestly thinking, as usual, they're probably going to have Britt Baker take it. But at the same time, Ruby Soho, as part of the Outcasts, has been quite the force to be reckoned with lately. So, I mean, she's honestly more of a force to be reckoned with than Saraya.
That's true.
Yeah. Anna Jay, Sky Blue, which is taking place on Rampage tonight. I'd probably say Sky Blue.
Okay.
I'm probably going to say Sky Blue on that case.
Yeah, pretty much same here.
All right. Now here's the thing, folks. We're not going to predict the whole damn tournament because, we just want to see how that's going to flow out. We're just going to predict the matches that are on the current bracket, though. Well, we already know.
Exactly.
Talk really quickly about the men's side on on Collision in Hamilton on Thursday, June 29th. We got Roderick Strong taking on Samoa Joe. I'd say Samoa Joe's taking that one.
Joe.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Because I see exactly where they're going to go based off the terms of the bracket. Dustin Rhodes, also on that same night, is going to face Powerhouse Hobbs. And honestly, yeah, it's going to be Powerhouse Hobbs because what is Dustin Rhodes going to do anymore?
Nothing.
Go back to WWE and be Goldust again?
Pretty much.
Cody Rhodes went back. But here's the thing. If Cody went back as American Nightmare in WWE, I'm pretty sure Dustin could return as Dustin Rhodes.
Possibility.
Juice Robinson that same night also taking on Absolute Ricky Starks. That one, honestly, it's a little bit of a tough one because I think it could go either way.
It could go either way, honestly.
But I'm going to go with Ricky Starks on that occasion.
That's fair. Guess so.
Yep. And of course, folks, let's talk it. A match is happening on the main show at Forbidden Door. Satoshi Kojima versus CM Punk. That's part of the Owen Hart Cup tournament. Shall we reprise our previous discussion from All Out based off of the fact that, he who must not be named. I'm just kidding. No, CM Punk is back. He is basically the dude who's going to lead Collision into being a big star program. Don't see how that's possible.
Y'all can't see me, but I'm laughing right now at that comment, but there you go.
Yeah. What I'm going to tell you is the whole deal about they split the rosters, not officially. They split the rosters based off of who's willing to work with CM Punk. And in my opinion, that is just stupid and childish.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't, put your personal feelings aside and work business with somebody, then honestly, you don't belong there. That's why I don't know what to think about this shit. Because CM Punk was a douchebag for the whole thing at All Out. Young Bucks and Kenny Omega are constantly being childish about the whole thing right now.
Exactly.
So, both sides are absolute losers.
Wait, that's us.
I'm just saying.
That's true.
The negative way of losers.
Exactly.
Does that sound better?
Yeah, much better, yeah. They won't copyright that one, because we own that shit.
Yeah. Absolutely. So CM Punk showed up on Collision at United Center. Let's be honest, that was always going to happen. So I'm glad that they didn't just keep it quiet. They just flat out said, yeah, he's coming back.
Dude, when they announced the United Center, I was like, yeah, he's coming back. Who cares?
Yeah, absolutely.
No offense to the Punk fans out there, which is fine.
Yeah. And while he did get a welcome back ovation, the thing is, we've only seen him in Chicago. We haven't seen what others will take him.
There you go.
But I got confidence because Toronto, we're not exactly a hostile territory.
Exactly.
So, and for a lot of us, it's literally the first time anyone up here in Toronto has seen CM Punk since his WWE days. And, honestly, I'd say they could welcome him in. Perhaps a lot will probably remember what went down. But if you remember, in other locations that were hyping up the whole thing with CM Punk showing up on Collision, I saw the videos. People either didn't react that much or were booing it.
Yeah, honestly, I think people just don't want to, just kind of don't want to move on, which is fine. I mean, I've moved on from the entire situation, but, again, just not a big Punk fan. That's just me.
Yeah, I'm not. My case, I'm honestly saying, as long as CM Punk keeps himself in line, because he's an employee. He's not the guy. Tony Khan, he's the guy. He should be the guy. But a lot of times, even he's not being the guy.
Exactly.
Which is also really childish.
Mm-hmm.
Point being, CM Punk should know what to say, what not to say during public media press conferences. And if people are talking shit about you and everything, well, deal with them personally, because it's not the public's business.
There you go.
Deal with them personally. If they don't want to deal with them personally, then just tell them it ain't my problem. The only thing I said regarding CM Punk's return, I wasn't ecstatic about it. I will admit, I wish this wasn't happening. I really wish he wasn't coming back. That's just me. But he is here, and he is back, and he's probably here to stay. And that is what it is. I'm not going to complain about it, because it's not my place to. What happened, happened. It's just as long as this shit don't continue happening, then we'll be fine. Then I'll have nothing else to say about it. Just put on some good matches, put on a good entertaining story, have a good gimmick, leave all the real life shit to yourself. Because it ain't our problem, and it ain't our business. Shut your mouth.
There you go.
And that's all I have to say about that. I'm a really good person.
There you go.
So are you, Heel Balor. I'll never discredit you for that.
I was at that compliment, thank you.
Indeed. So, CM Punk is officially on the Forbidden Door card. He'll be taking on Satoshi Kojima, who previously has... It's actually the funny thing. The last time Satoshi Kojima was on an AEW pay-per-view, I was conveniently in the attendance for that too, when he took on Jon Moxley at All Out 2021. in Hoffman Estates, Illinois at Now Arena.
Wow.
And conveniently, oh my God, another thing. I was at CM Punk's first AEW match, and I'm at his first pay-per-view match since his return.
Ain't that nice? There you go.
There's a lot of hilarious coincidences going on here. But you know what? I'm looking forward to this because I enjoyed the match that Moxley had with Satoshi Kojima. We briefly talked about that when we discussed All Out. And it was good. It was fun. And I was also the night that Minoru Suzuki made his official debut in AEW. I was there for that. And I will be in the crowd. I'll be in the crowd to watch him in a match that we'll talk about in a moment. But in this case, I really think both CM Punk and Satoshi Kojima are going to put on a hell of a contest. CM Punk, I'm predicting to win. As a matter of fact, this is why I'm saying the whole thing with the men's Owen Hart Cup Foundation tournament is predictable. Because I'm like, I think they're going to put CM Punk as the guy to win it all.
Yeah, I got Pepsi Phil.
Yeah, one Bill Phil. Where the hell did that come from anyway?
I have no idea.
Something about a guy saying like CM Punk is the realest person around because he lives around with counterfeit bucks, which of course was the shot at the Young Bucks. But oh well. I will say though, to me, if I was in a problem with CM Punk and I was in the company and I realized, oh God, he's coming back and now we got to work with him again, I wouldn't, if he wants to talk, I'd probably approach him. I'd talk. But the one thing I'd be like is, I don't want to go through what went down. All I want to do is entertain the people. I want to have a good match. I want to have a great time. If you're willing to do that, then let's work together. That's all I'm going to help say about the whole situation. I'd rather not go and discuss past drama. Thank you very much.
There you go.
At least that's just me. That's what I would do in that case. Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, they just don't want to be in the same building as him. And to me, that just makes it pretty obvious that everybody was being childish. Whether it was Punk being childish at All Out or the Elite being childish right now.
There you go.
Whatever personal things you got, just deal with it on your own time. But if you guys just work in business and wrestling, it's all about the people. It ain't about your personal beliefs and everything. Like if people were like, I don't know, there's a lot of Trump supporters for Trump 2024 and shit like that. I have a lot of friends who are massive Trump supporters. I'm not going to throw them to the curb all because of that. I'm like, just keep your political shit away from me, and we'll be fine. That's how it is in my
There
end.
you go.
Okay, but overall, though, Heel Battler, what was your thoughts on when CM Punk showed up again and returned?
Honestly, I mean, I had more of a reaction from my buddy Beast Mode 9000 since he's a big Punk fan. So just watching his reaction, to seeing his guy return, that pretty much made my night. But Punk himself showing up, I mean, cool, nice. I mean, again, not the biggest fan of the guy, period. But, if he speaks the truth, he speaks the truth. If he doesn't speak the truth, he is a troublemaker, all kind of stuff. But, I don't know. The whole thing is just, it is what it is. I'm not really going to bat an eye about Pepsi Phil, and really talk about the drama in the past. For me, it's the past in the past, and I've moved on from it, honestly. And just seeing him back was pretty cool, I guess. So, I mean, good for him. We all know what's in the bag. That's all I care about is what's in his bag. So,
I think it's pretty obvious that inside it is the AEW World Title.
Oh, you mean the replica belt? Exactly.
Yeah, the replica belt. However, here's the thing. If you remember MJF, he has a different version of it now because it was one that was created for him. Looks the same. It's just, different kind of strap colors and everything and different other shit that's on it. But CM Punk, I think, has the original title inside of that bag. However, I will admit, it is kind of stupid for him to be like, I'm still, the champion unless somebody pins or submits me. I'm like, that's not how it works. If Tony Khan strips you of a title, you ain't a champion no matter how much you want to think you are. At least what happened before with his whole thing with John Cena in 2011, he won the title from him, left, and all Vince said was, we'll crown a new champion. He never said that the title was vacant.
Exactly.
Yep. Plus, they gave John Cena a replica title anyway.
Yeah, pretty much.
So far, yep. CM Punk will absolutely beat Satoshi Kojima And as of right now, we're like, well, that's one AEW and 0 for New Japan, or at least I think that's what it was.
I don't know. I'm not really keeping score on between the companies.
It's all right, yeah. We'll not keep score on that. It's okay, though. Overall, though, I guarantee it should be a fun time. So we're going to move on now to the next match right here. And this next match we're talking about is a 6-man tag team match. And in this case, it is Chris Jericho teaming up with Sammy Guevara and Minoru Suzuki. They teamed up at last year's Forbidden Door event as well. Fun fact. Taking on the team of Sting, Darby Allin, and we don't know. A mystery partner.
Yeah.
And you know, this has me thinking. I won't lie, I was surprised when I'm like, oh, Jericho and Sting have never been face-to-face, even in their WCW days, so this is their first time ever for them. I still wonder, though, like, are we gonna get a Chris Jericho Sting one-on-one match, which would be Sting's first one-on-one match since 2015?
I honestly could care less because it's 2023 for me, and I don't really want to dig into that, honestly.
Yeah.
So,
because, I'll be honest, Sting, he wrestles good for being in tag matches. I don't think he could carry a one-on-one match anymore. Jericho, on the other hand, he's clearly showing his aging.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's in singles or tag action. And so that's why I'm like, I don't know if it'd be a good idea. It would have been a good idea like 20 years ago. But not now. Not anymore.
Yeah.
This is kind of like similar to a situation where, you know, WWE has their old legends fight each other in Saudi Arabia. It just doesn't work when they're that old.
Exactly.
That's why either put them in tag matches or have them face off against a younger talent who can help them.
Yeah, exactly.
As for Sammy Guevara, I can see that he's showing second thoughts of still being with Jericho nowadays. I'm like, finally!
By the time he's waking up.
Yeah, seriously. Sammy Guevara, after that massive and amazing performance at Double or Nothing this year in that 4-way match, really should be on his own and really should be a main event talent.
One day.
Yeah, but this is... I don't understand why they keep bringing him in with Jericho, because are they afraid that he's just going to drown? He can swim on his own, clearly.
Exactly.
Give him the right opponents, give him the right story, and he can swim. Don't have him rely on Jericho all the time. And of course, you know, we haven't them team with Minoru Suzuki because they teamed up at last year's Forbidden Door and it just worked out for them really good. In this case, Sting, Darby Allin, and we have no idea. I won't lie, I honestly thought it was gonna be Tomohiro Ishii, but that's we'll talk about him a little later. That's not the case anymore. My honest prediction on who this partner is going to be is I think it's going to be Tatsuya Naito.
I think so too.
Yeah, because Darby Allin did say you've made enemies in other places, and Naito is one of them.
Yep.
By the way, is it Naito or Naito? Am I saying it wrong?
Naito.
Naito. Got it. But, yeah, he is right. Jericho has made a lot of enemies in other places, which also has me thinking, could it be somebody else?
Possible.
Like maybe Goldberg?
Honestly, I do think Goldberg's coming in, just not yet.
Yeah, I think Goldberg's taking on Ryback.
God, please.
You seen the whole thing going on social media?
Yeah.
Goldberg versus Ryback. Let's do this.
Nobody wants that.
I mean, it would sell. It would sell because of how popular it is.
I remember see freaking Wardlow and Goldberg, and that's saying something.
Yeah. Wardlow, Goldberg. I think people would be chanting that all night long. You know, put them in the stadium if they're going to do that. Wembley Stadium and all in.
Probably going to happen.
Probably. Imagine Goldberg does show up and starts spearing the living hell out of people again and starts doing his WWE run in AEW.
And they'll switch it all over. They'll switch on and be like, oh, that's good, that's great. Yeah, tribalist bullshit.
Probably. Tribalistics. And here's the thing. We here at the Losers Lounge, we're not tribalism toward anyone.
Nope.
We've proven it in 6 whole seasons. So
Exactly.
in this 6-man tag match, I guarantee I like the idea and the build up to this. Jericho and Sting briefly had like a sword fight with their baseball bats.
Bro, for real.
Yeah, I'm like, let's just have a baseball bat sword fight with them too if they're not gonna have a match with each other.
There you go.
6-man tag action. The partner of which of Sting and Darby Allin will be revealed this tomorrow night on Collision in Toronto, and I'll be in the audience for that, so I'm excited.
Nice.
So, if it's Tatsuya Naito, then we were correct, and I will probably be cheering. Well, for the record, folks, I'm also not vlogging any of my experiences because, I just want to enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's okay, though. It's fine. I just want to say, I've been on a hell of my summer tour. I also want to take this moment and say my summer tour has been a wild success, especially throughout June. Whether I was in Virginia Beach, I was attending, either a baseball game or wrestling events in Virginia, and also, of course, I was at another wrestling event around Brantford, Ontario, halfway through this month. I got 4 AEW events to attend in a 6-day period. I got this Saturday, Collision, Sunday, Forbidden Door, and then Wednesday, Dynamite in Hamilton, and of course, Collision also in Hamilton the day after. And the reason I think that they're taping Collision is because, when you're in Canada, July 1st is Canada Day, and nobody's going to be paying money to attend a wrestling event on Canada Day. It'd be like, trying to sell an event for the 4th of July. I don't think anybody's going to do that, because they're busy out with their families and having a good time.
Yeah.
In this case, it's also smart because, even though they're not exactly going to go head-to-head, technically, with Money in the Bank, it's on the same day as Money in the Bank.
There you go.
Yeah, people are definitely going to be watching that show and probably be worn out afterwards. And I'm excited. We're also excited to talk Money in the Bank and all the storyline crazy shit that happened there next week. That's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Anyways. Yeah. For this match, I'm going to predict Sting, Darby Allin, and Tatsuya Naito.
Same here.
Yeah, I get and also the other reason why I think they're going to win it is because Jericho did say, we as a 6-man, as a trio, we're undefeated. I'm like, well, that just means they're going to lose now.
And plus, you're technically not, unless I'm missing something. I don't think.
You probably are missing, but they're undefeated at Forbidden Door at least.
Nice, I guess. Here's your cookie.
Yeah. In some ways, yes. But the reason why, they're undefeated from last year's Forbidden Door is because, they took on Eddie Kingston, Shota Umino, and Wheeler Yuta.
I got you.
Yep. So, we got a lot of that going on. And we're going to move on to the next match. The next match we're talking about is a 10-man tag team match. And at this point, I'm like, there's a number of matches that have so many participants at once rather than a lot of one-on-ones.
Yeah.
This 10-man tag team match features the Elite, which is Hangman Adam Page and the Young Bucks, teaming with Eddie Kingston and Tomohiro Ishii to take on the Blackpool Combat Club in Wheeler Yuta, Claudio Castagnoli, and Jon Moxley, Shota Umino, and Konosuke Takeshita.
Yay!
As you all know, Konosuke Takeshita showed up at Double or Nothing after the Anarchy in the Arena match.
Yep, turned heel.
Which, by the way, that was a wild Anarchy match. I'm actually, in some ways, glad that was the main event, but also, I really think the 4-way world title match should have been the main event because of how great it was.
I totally agree, but with the ending with Takeshita turning heel and all that stuff,
Yep.
Yeah, I was on the... Yeah, but still, I kind of agree with that one, that the world title match should have been event. That's just me.
Did you expect that heel turn to happen?
Yes. I did.
So,
literally, but I did. The second, the Blackpool Combat Club attacked him, and, when you got that storm by Kenny Omega, I'm like, yeah, he's turning heel. And he did. So it was for me, it was kind of predictable. I was still shocked. Oh my gosh, Takeshita. But to be fair, I was still busy watching NXT that night, so...
Yeah, it's all good, though.
There you go.
Because, NXT Battlegrounds the same day as Double or Nothing, at the same time, too.
It was very fun to watch both at the same time. Very, very fun.
It was weird. But, I just picked one day and then watched the other the next day. It was that easy for me. Even though I know you were watching both at the same time.
Correct. I had both phones in my hand.
Yeah, that
It
was
was
crazy.
very, very interesting.
As you all know, Kenny Omega is not teaming with the Elite, just like Bryan Danielson is not teaming with the Blackpool Combat Club, and we'll get to those reasons at the end of this podcast. But I will say, I like the teams that they got set up for this 10-man tag. In this case, it's just a regular 10-man tag match, but I really think it could have been some sort of crazy brawl, just like Anarchy in the Arena. But, we don't want to go too wild, otherwise we're kind of like, we're trying our best not to shine brighter than what's the planned main event and everything. Catch my drift?
You don't want to go too wild because Wild Thing's going to stop playing.
Yeah, that is true. Super Kick.
Exactly.
I will admit, having an actual live band perform that was amazing. So, Eddie Kingston, of course,
interesting.
So, as you know, Eddie Kingston is actually back on AEW programming for a while because, he quit for a while just so he could be on Ring of Honor. But then, of course, now we got this. And, I will admit, before, they announced that Tomohiro Ishii was going to be the Elite's final partner, I honestly thought it was going to be him to join up with Sting and Darby Allin. So, that's on me. Whoopsie.
It's all good. That's all good.
Yep. So, I'll ask you, Willie, who do you think will win this 10-man tag?
Honestly, I'm going to go with the faces for this one. I don't actually. Blackpool Combat Club lost the last time. Why not give them this one? Why not give them this one? They lost Anarchy in the. No, they won Anarchy in the Arena, right? They won, right? Yeah, they won. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, they did.
They won.
Yes, they won.
Yeah, give the faces this one. Give the faces this one.
Alrighty. In this case, I'm honestly gonna go the side of the Blackpool Combat Club because I get it. Like a lot of people are like, okay, the bad guys won this pay-per-view, which means the good guys had to win on this pay-per-view. I'm like, that ain't always the case because the Blackpool Combat Club has really shown how dominating they really are. And honestly, I really think the Elite doesn't kind of need more freaking wins on this situation,
Yeah, pretty much. And the rivalry pretty much is not over yet.
Yeah, and plus, I won't lie, in some ways, what Eddie Kingston said doesn't make a lot of sense. He says, I don't like you and I don't respect you. And I'm like, but I can't stand Claudio Castagnoli.
Dude.
Yeah, it's like, but I can't stand Claudio.
Who did he say it to?
He said that to the Bucks and Hangman Page. And
I kind of understand Black Guts.
He's like, I don't like you and I don't respect you. But I can't stand Claudio. I'm like, what you just said is even worse. Not liking or respecting. Because here's the thing, I can't stand him. I'm like, not liking or respecting someone kind of means you can't stand them either. So this is kind of an equal playing field.
Pretty much. It's just weird.
Yeah, I'm like, what? That's where I'm at. I was like, I don't like you. I don't respect you. But I can't stand this guy. I'm like,
I can't stand you. What kind of logic is that?
Yeah, that's like the same thing. And I'm like,
it is the same thing.
Like the Elite hasn't done too much shit to warrant, Eddie Kingston not liking or respecting them. Claudio, yeah, he's done a few things, but I'm saying they weren't as bad.
Exactly.
They tried to blow up John Moxley in an exploding barbed wire death match, for God's sake. Sorry, I can't stop laughing when I bring that up.
Sparklers.
Yeah, then I watched the video game and I'm like, wow. I saw the video game.
That game's gonna be interesting.
I saw the video game clips about that. I was like, oh my god, that's just funny. That's even worse, honestly.
They actually added it for dramatic effect. It was actually kind of cool.
Yep. As you all know, folks, we're talking about AEW Fight Forever, the game that's finally releasing on Thursday, June 29th. I guarantee there's a lot of people who put in their pre-orders who are going to are just definitely going to get the game at some point. Will, are you going to get that game?
After I get 2K23.
Fair point. There's not a lot of people I know who are actually going to get Fight Forever. A lot of people are saying it's because of the graphics. I'm like, it really should be because of the graphics. Because it should be really whether or not, it'd be something you'd be interested in.
Gameplay. What you prefer.
Your preferences and everything. So
it's an arcade type of game, so there you go.
Yeah, it's an arcade game. However, I won't lie though, paying about $80 for an arcade game, I'm like, I don't think that's a good idea.
No, heck no.
No, it really
Ew.
isn't. Okay, well, you said Team Elite, I said Team Blackpool Combat Club, so for a couple of matches we seem to be on opposite ends, but for a majority so far we've been on the same odds.
Yep.
Alright, we're going to start talking about some championship matches taking place. The first one is something, I'll be honest, it's a match that I really don't think a title should be on the line at all, and that's the AEW Women's title. It's Toni Storm defending against Willow Nightingale, who's the NJPW Strong Champion. And in this case, I'm like, they really should not have put the title on the line because now it makes it obvious that Toni Storm's going to win. If it was just a champion versus champion non-title match, then it could go either way.
Yawn.
Yeah, but it's like, okay, you got two champions facing each other, but only one of their titles is on the line. Does this mean Tony's going to challenge for Willow's title at some point?
That's what I'm saying. Like, shouldn't this title be like a unification match?
I wouldn't go that far. That's why I would be like, let's just, have neither title on the line and just let them fight it out.
And what did Willow do to earn this?
She's from New Japan and she's a champion at New Japan, I guess.
That's still not good enough.
I mean, they've had a couple of, I got a problem with you. Well, yeah, I got a problem with you. Let's face off.
That's not good enough.
Yeah, not really that good enough to warrant a title match. If you want to just have them, that's why I said, it should just be a singles non-title match. So that, in that case, it'd be like, okay, it's just an AEW female against a New Japan female. Okay, there you go. And I get it. Willow Nightingale, yes, I know, is also all elite. I know that. But she's mostly with New Japan. She beat Mercedes Moné for the strong title. And, well, Mercedes Moné, I honestly thought we were going to be talking about her during this podcast in a match capacity, but we're not because she injured her ankle. So, nope. From what I heard, though, we would have gone Mercedes Moné versus Saraya, and I'm like, oh, thank God we did not get it.
Saraya hasn't been seen in a while. Plus, she's trash on television.
Yeah, I really think this has been a massive failure. It seems like any time she's trying to come back into wrestling, it's become a massive failure.
No, the group itself is a failure. That's just me.
Yeah, it really is. I really don't understand why they keep doing this. And they call themselves the Outcasts. I'm pretty sure that's not a shot at the WWE stuff and everything because Saraya's been anything but an outcast when she was in WWE.
Toni Storm wasn't an outcast. Just go watch NXT, but go on.
Yeah. Worse that happened to her when she got pie-faced. Big whoop.
I mean, Ruby Soho. She was a riot. That's about it. Wink, wink.
Yeah. Seems like the other members of that group, I won't lie, she's a perfect outcast because the other members of her former Riot Squad are currently doing a lot better than she is.
Ouch.
Liv Morgan and the former Sarah Logan, now Valhalla, even she's doing a lot better based off of this gimmick she's got.
Exactly.
Which is pretty good. I hope they see her wrestle soon.
There you go.
So in this case, yeah, I won't lie, I don't like the idea of just one title being on the line. If you're not gonna have both titles on the line or just a non-title match, then why are you doing this? I guarantee I would have said the same thing if it would have been like, oh, Willow's title's on the line, so the New Japan Strong title against Toni Storm. But then I would have been like, no. Toni Storm did not earn a title match against that.
Toni be challenged for the belt anyway. And this doesn't make any sense to me. Like, what did this individual do to earn that shot? I don't know. I know it's New Japan versus AEW, but like that, make it make sense, please.
Yeah, make it make sense. In this case, we're talking championships here. Titles should still be earned. Title matches should still be earned, not given, despite the fact that, it's a collaborative event.
Exactly.
In this case, I'm like, no, I don't think any of this is good enough for Willow Nightingale to warrant a title match with Toni Storm.
Hey.
So, this is why I'm like, I wanted it to be a non-title match with Toni Storm and Willow Nightingale so that, we got the champion of AEW against the champion of New Japan. Who's the better champion? We don't have to depend on a title for this, but it could go either way now. There you go. Make things unpredictable. That would be amazing. In this case, it's way too predictable. Toni Storm's going to win this match.
Toni Storm, I don't care.
Yeah. Please, AEW, make us care about the women. You're not making us care about them. Thank you. Now we're going to move on. This next title match, one that I'm actually more interested in. It's a fatal four-way for the International Championship as champion Orange Cassidy is defending against sorry, is it Katsuyori Shibata?
Katsuyori Shibata.
Thank you. Sorry, there's a lot of times I get too scared that I'm going to mispronounce something. Like the time I said Shinsuke Nakamura was Shinsuke. What the fuck was going on with me at the time? Anyways, there's that. There's Daniel Garcia, and of course, there's Zack Sabre Jr. And I won't lie, when they competed in a tag team match on Dynamite, I thoroughly expected this to be Orange Cassidy and Zack Sabre Jr. one-on-one. I think that would have been a lot better. But I'm okay with this idea of a four-way match to get more faces involved. But personally, I think I would have preferred just a one-on-one with Orange Cassidy and Zack Sabre Jr. Because, you know, last year's Forbidden Door, Orange Cassidy went to the limit with Will Ospreay.
Yeah. Boy, was that good.
It was. In my opinion, it was the best match of last year's Forbidden Door. You have Will Ospreay and Orange Cassidy. And in this case, it could have been repeated. Orange Cassidy, Zack Sabre Jr. I'll be honest, I think they added Shibata and Garcia for this because, for one thing, we got Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay. And we got Kazuchika, Okada, and Bryan Danielson. They're kind of worried that Orange Cassidy and Zack Sabre Jr. are probably going to steal that before it even happens.
No, enough said, no.
I'm like, you can still do it, because if it's Orange Cassidy and Zack Sabre Jr., oh good, we got 3 epic one-on-one matches that we can look forward to now. Not just 2, but 3. Yay!
Bingo.
Was his name-o. I don't know why I keep saying that. It's just funny. But can we admit, though, Orange Cassidy has been the best champion in AEW right now. For right now's days.
I mean, he's not really for me, honestly, but I will admit, he's doing a pretty good job in my opinion.
Oh, who's top champion right now in your opinion?
It ain't MJF, that's for sure.
No, hell no.
It's not freaking not Tony Storm. Nope. It's not freaking whoever the tag champs are, freaking
FTR.
With the and FTR. So and I guess I gotta go with Orange Cassidy, I guess.
I was about to say, well, actually, what about the House of Black?
Nope.
Chris Statlander?
Who? No, I'm kidding. That's mean. No.
The person who finally sent Jade Cargill packing. Although I will admit, that was kind of weird and out of nowhere.
Like an RKO.
Even worse than an RKO, but yes.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, Orange Cassidy, he's been the international champion, even when it was the All-Atlantic title. He won it conveniently in Toronto in mid-October. So what if he potentially loses the title in Toronto?
I'll laugh.
I guess it's like, well, comes full circle. Won the belt in Toronto, could lose it in Toronto. That would be funny. And I will say, Orange Cassidy, he's been put on great matches every time he's defended his title. And a lot of times, yes, he does defend them against, well, random people. Even those who are not even signed with the company. I guess that was the whole point of the international thing. However, a lot of the people had just been from the United States. In this case, it's a little different. In this case, it's a little different. Because, well, not everybody's from the U.S. here. Zack Sabre Jr., as we know, can put on amazing match after amazing match. Last year, at Forbidden Door, he took on Claudio Castagnoli. And that was a good match. It wasn't the best match, but it was good. And he was originally supposed to face...
It was fun for what it was.
Yeah, he was supposed to face Bryan Danielson at last year's Forbidden Door.
Still hope we get that, by the way.
But then Bryan got hurt. Matter of fact, well, a lot of people did. So, yeah, that happened.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly, dude.
Shibata. Katsuyori Shibata. Did I say it right? Please tell me I said it right. Please tell me I said it right.
Correct.
Woohoo! Good! I learned! Another great talent from New Japan. And then, of course, well, Daniel Garcia. Also a great talent. So, I'd say this four-way could be a really fun way to kick off the show if we want. But as for who I think's gonna who do I think's gonna win? That's the tough one. Because Orange Cassidy, he's been champion since last October, so it's been 8 months now.
Jeez.
Zack Sabre Jr., I don't see him winning the title and then hanging out with AEW. I think we can also count out Shibata. However, that just leaves Daniel Garcia. And I'm thinking...
Yeah, it does.
To me, it's between those two. Zack Sabre and Shibata, they're here for show.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm going to take a risk and say Daniel Garcia is going to become the new international champion.
I think so, too. I'm with Daniel Garcia.
All right. But we can't deny that Orange Cassidy's been a hell of a champion since they brought up that title and had him win it back in Toronto. So...
Before him was Pac, but I don't know where Pac is, so there you go.
Yep, this title originated at Forbidden Door last year. Also in a four-way match.
Yep.
Last year's four-way for the, at the time, All-Atlantic title, that was exciting because, you had Pac, you had Miro, Clark Connors, and Malachi Black. It was a hell of a show.
Two of those people are kind of on TV.
Miro, he just showed up. He just recently came back. Pac, we have no idea where the hell he is. Actually, no, wait, no. What's the whole thing with him?
He's injured.
What?
He's apparently injured, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Or they have nothing to do for him.
That's understandable. Malachi Black, well, we all know where he is nowadays.
In a closet.
Yep.
No, wait, that's WWE. Never mind.
Trios champion with the House of Black. Been doing really good. Clark Connors, that was another guy from New Japan.
Yeah.
But overall, though, that was still a good match. And in this case, well, we have another four-way for the International Championship, as you said, Katsuyori Shibata, Daniel Garcia, Zack Sabre Jr., and the champion, Orange Cassidy. So, we're in for a good contest. Now let's move on to the next championship. And this is for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. And in my opinion, a massive downgrade from last year.
Oh, boy.
We got the champion. Is it Sonata or Sanada? Canada.
It's Sonata.
Yeah, I know it was. I just wanted to make a funny reference because, Sanada in Canada. I'm just kidding. No, it's Sonata. The champion. And he's defending against Jungle Boy Jack Perry, apparently. And there's only one way to put it out. He put out an open challenge. Jungle Boy Jack Perry accepted it, and that's how the match exists. That's it. That's literally it.
You should have done AEW. Have the open challenge at the show.
Or just not have him defend it at all if you're just going to do this. And if you look around, this match is something that a lot of people are pretty sore on.
Oh, I think it's going to be fun.
And the reason for this is because, well, they just don't get it. A lot of the times, they just don't get the pushing of Jungle Boy Jack Perry.
I want Jungle Boy. I think he's kind of generic. I can't speak, but
yeah,
in the ring.
Yeah, he's good in my opinion. It's just, with everything's going on, he's back to being in a tag team. He's in a tag team again now. This time with Hook.
Jungle.
Yeah, he was in that part of that amazing four-way for the world title, the Pillars match at Double or Nothing, and shined brightly with the others, and it was so amazing. How do you go from that to being put in another tag team? Because like we mentioned on the previous podcast, talking about Double or Nothing, that's how Jungle Boy ever has been.
I find it hysterical after the Fatal 4, everyone just faded off into this, except MJF.
Oh my god, who could have predicted that?
No, actually, if you think about it, MJF kind of faded off too, because his big match is probably being set up for Wembley. Yay?
Yeah, well. Let's see.
Good job.
Good job indeed. Simon Guevara, as we all know, he's back to teaming with Jericho on the full time. MJF, we'll talk about him a little later. Jungle Boy, he's in a tag team, but he answered an IWGP Heavyweight Title Open Challenge. And then, of course,
We should have been on the show.
And then, of course, Darby Allin is just continuing his team with Sting.
Which we still don't know why that's happening. We don't know why Sting is here. But they're teaming because they have face paint.
They gotta do it.
Awesome.
Like we said, the only one who's going to benefit out of this is MJF. And based off of what they have planned up for him for the future, oh yeah. We'll talk about him in a moment, but let's be honest. I really don't think that Sonata is going to lose the IWGP Heavyweight title at all.
You're right. He's going to lose in 10 seconds because Jungle Boy is going to...
No, this is another reason why I understand the whole crossover with this, but this is why I kind of have a problem with titles being on the line, because I don't see people from other companies just winning it.
Again, bro, Tony Khan just thinks this is Universal Mode. He can do what the heck he wants. That's not how it works, Dimrod.
I mean, I get that this would probably sound a little cliche and also what WWE's done, but I personally wouldn't have minded if, you'd have, okay, let's just have, the AEW World Champ. Let's have MJF face Sonata. It's not title for title, but champion versus champion, non-title. We got the top champions of both companies into one. Same thing with the women's title. Just like, don't put a title on the line. Put the freaking international champ Orange Cassidy against, oh, wait, hold on a second. The IWGP US champion is from AEW. Oh, whoopsie. We'll get to that.
Correct.
We'll get to that in a moment. My point being, I don't like the idea of title matches because a lot of the times, it's kind of obvious which side's going to get it. The guy from AEW is probably going to win an AEW title match. The guy from New Japan is going to win an IWGP title match. Oh, wow. Who the hell did not see that coming?
Ooh, me, Sonata.
Indeed. So in this case, yeah, I'm predicting Sonata's going to retain the IWGP Heavyweight title because no shit he's going to.
After Jungle Boy gets done rolling them up in 10 seconds. No, I'm kidding. Jungle Boy's not winning. Anyways, Sonata's winning. I don't care. It's going to be a great match, but I don't care.
He's busy in a tag team with Hook. He's not becoming the world champ of New Japan here. He's not doing that.
Plus, he would have to move to Japan and I guess then be champion over there, then drop it. I don't know, man.
Yeah, so it would not work out. No, thank you.
It wouldn't.
Really would not.
Universe Mode Con.
Yep. This really is the whole Universe Mode thing.
Idiot.
And what I'm not going to deny, folks, yes, it's going to be a good match. That's the one thing that we are at least praising for. It's going to be a good match. The problem is, it's way too predictable for the wrong reasons. Like, it's one of those, no shit, this guy's going to win.
Oh, Yotsu wins it for WWE. Wrong.
We've been on a lot of no
shit. We have to
go
back and watch it.
We've been on a lot of occasions where we're like, no shit, this guy's gonna win, duh.
Yep.
And also for the wrong reasons too.
Exactly.
So that's why, yeah, we're both on the side of the champion retaining against Jungle Boy because no shit. Let's move on to the next title match. That's also a no shit moment. But we'll actually have a little bit to talk in some ways because it's MJF defending the AEW World title against Hiroshi Tanahashi. As we all know, Hiroshi Tanahashi last year's Forbidden Door was going for the, at the time, vacant and interim world title with Jon Moxley. Which honestly should have still been the official title because, well, at the time, fuck CM Punk.
No, still fuck CM Punk now, but that's just me.
Yeah.
Fuck the Elite too.
Understandable. In this case, MJF is facing Hiroshi Tanahashi. And in this case, like I mentioned, it's because it's AEW versus New Japan. Not exactly a bad thing, but it's mostly Hiroshi showing up and saying, I want a title match with MJF. And he's like, no. I want a title match with MJF.
No, you're not getting one.
Yeah, no, you're not getting one. I want a title match. No. And on the last week, fine, you get it. Because, well, he was coerced by Adam Cole, baby.
Yeah.
But can we also talk about that amazing contest with MJF and Adam Cole?
I loved it.
That was an amazing match. And honestly, fuck, I really wish that maybe Adam Cole was involved in this match. Make it a triple threat.
They're saving the Bay for something else.
Perhaps All In.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, perhaps All In Wembley.
Maybe.
Maybe. But yeah, when I first heard about the idea of a blind eliminator tournament number one contender for the tag team titles thing, I thought at first it meant, okay, we're not going to tell you which tag team is going to do it. But then they're like, oh, no. It's the single names put together to form a team. And at least this was done in a funny way. In this case, like, MJF and Adam Cole are now a tag team. And it seems like
Bonnie, which is funny.
Yeah, we could have another Team Hell No moment.
No, nothing's touching Team Hell No.
I just love how they were chanting "Hug It Out" to them when they were announced as a team.
Yes. I'm sure somebody in that company is all well about that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I will say as well, like, MJF, he's at least starting to finally compete more. And I like the little shot he took. You want me to wrestle weekly? Are you out of your mind?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, well, as the world champion, you honestly should be wrestling. It doesn't have to be every week, but you should be competing.
Other championship all that class.
Yeah.
I wonder who.
I really wish the top champion on the other side did it too.
Exactly. You mean the actual champion who just defended his title on NXT this week?
No, the other guy.
A good champion.
No, the other guy.
The guy who got kicked in the face last week and says acknowledge me every week. Oh, I got you.
Yeah, that guy.
Oh, yeah.
MJF is really not that big a deal in comparison to Roman Reigns. We all know that.
No, you can't really compare them. No, you can't, folks. You can't really compare.
Yeah. And
you can if you want to. You're going to lose. So, yeah.
Well, I'm just going to say, like, in this case, yeah. It's pretty obvious that Hiroshi Tanahashi, he's not winning the AEW World title. No shit. It's another, like I mentioned, another no shit this guy's gonna win match for MJF.
Why can't it be MJF versus Suzuki? I want to see MJF get chopped in half.
I mean, that could still happen at a later time.
Please.
But at the same time, it would still be another no shit this guy is gonna win.
Exactly.
This is why I'm like, the titles don't have to be on the line in order to be making a good show, because when the titles are not on the line, then it's not predictable.
Amen, brother.
Yeah, I'm like, I understand you want some title matches, but in the case of a crossover pay-per-view, why put your title in line against a guy from the other company when, you're just going to book him to win it?
I don't know, dog.
Just, like I mentioned, just do what I did and everything. Have a champion, face a champion, have a good time with it. Don't put a title on the line and just say, go for it, let's see what happens.
Bingo, brother.
That'd be nice. That would honestly make this whole thing a lot better. So MJF, of course, accepted Hiroshi Tanahashi's challenge. This whole thing, I will say, Hiroshi Tanahashi, he seems like he's in the back seat of his own title match, because the main deal is MJF and Adam Cole. Duh.
You mean baby?
Yeah, I'm just not saying that after every single time I mention Adam Cole. Baby.
Exactly. Fuck! Dang it. Wait, hang on. Yes. Oh, shit!
Well, thank God it wasn't my house. Oh, God, no! Ow.
You see what you did?
No, that was what you did, man. You're the one who brought me into this.
No, you did. Hang on, someone else is here. Yes. Christian. Oh, he's in there. Hey, Christian, Retribution's here.
How come nobody's here? Oh, they're dead. It's a tombstone. Look at that. It's just a random tombstone. They're dead. Oh my God. Good.
You want to talk?
Good times, right?
Oh, he's right here. Yeah, he's right. Classic.
Yeah, good times. So, I mean, this is a dumb question for me to ask. Willie, who's gonna win this match?
I don't. Me! I don't freaking know. I'm gonna drive to Canada, even though I can't drive. I mean, I can, not legally, honestly. I'll drive to Canada, get over the border, go beat MJF, and get the hell out of the belt. Why not? But in actuality, it's gonna be MJF, because why not? Yes, there you go.
Actually, it's gonna be MJF because no shit.
Exactly. We're putting that on a shirt.
Yeah, because no shit. Are you ready to talk the top 2 matches of the show, though?
Fine.
Are you glad I saved these 2 for last?
Very, very glad. Specifically one match.
Yep. let's kick things off with Omos versus Goldberg.
Yes, that's right. Taking place in Toronto. 10 stars.
Okay, in all seriousness, folks, the first of two that we're going to talk about is for the IWGP United States Championship. It's the rematch from Wrestle Kingdom. Kenny Omega will defend against Will Ospreay, the guy he beat for the title. I look back at the match from Wrestle Kingdom. Without a doubt, that was outstanding.
Got to watch from my buddy Beastman 9000 in a car. I was in a car. He was in his other room. And we had to watch it. And very fun contest. Incredible action. Just so much fun. Wrong decision that Kenny won, in my opinion. But
Yeah,
I
won't lie. I was shocked when Kenny Omega actually won the U.S. title. Because I'm like, at the time when he won it initially, AEW didn't exist yet.
Nope.
But in this case, it does exist, and he's there full time. I'm like, wait, really? But kudos to him, he's done a few good things with it. So, yeah, he's at least done something. And, of course, Will Ospreay, he's earned his way back into getting a title match. Last year, as we know, Kenny Omega was not even at Forbidden Door. He was out with his injuries.
Correct.
And Will Ospreay put on perhaps the best match of the night with Orange Cassidy. So
much fun.
And they put on the match of the night for Wrestle Kingdom this year, in my opinion.
They did.
In my opinion, Jay White versus Okada fell really flat.
It was too long for me. It was fun, but just way too long.
Now, my problem with it was the whole Jay White just not really into it a lot.
Jay White's just, I don't get the hype. I like him, and I don't get the hype of Jay White.
Yeah. I'm excited for this because I've seen Kenny Omega. The last time I was in an arena when Kenny Omega had a match, Sold Out 2021, when he took on Christian Cage. Good match, but of course everybody remembers I was there for the debuts of Adam Cole and Bryan Danielson, who we're going to be talking about as well.
Mm-hmm.
So would you consider me lucky that I got to be in the arena for those?
You're lucky, legit. I've seen Danielson once, so I bet him. Cool guy.
Yep. This will be my first.
His cousin Daniel Bryan, not Bryan Danielson. Anyways.
This will be my first time seeing Will Ospreay in person.
Lucky.
This will be my first time seeing a lot of these people in person because I've not been to a New Japan pay-per-view.
So freaking jealous. Anyways.
It's okay to be jealous, dude.
So excited.
Just imagine if New Japan hosts some sort of crazy show in Alabama.
I highly doubt it. Never said I'm wrestling.
Never say never. And here's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm putting out a really, really cool prediction. You ready to hear it?
Go for it.
Will Ospreay will become the new IWGP US champion.
Facts.
He's going to win, and they're going to tie up the score to have a rubber match, complete the trilogy at All in London.
I think so, too.
Yeah. This is why I'm like, Kenny Omega should lose, because he's already got a point in here. Have Will Ospreay take it, then put up a 2 out of 3 falls match at All in London at Wembley Stadium.
And Tony Khan to put a 60-man Iron Man match back.
Hey, Tony, you hear us right now? Because you watch us all the time. Book this shit.
Book it. And pay us. Because we know you watch us. That goes to you too, WWE. Pay us. Most stuff that comes on this podcast actually comes true. So, there you go. Pay us.
I mean, some of it does, not all of it. But we can,
not all of it.
You know. If Kenny Omega wins, however, then I'll be like, okay, then I really don't think they'd have a third match or should have a third match if that's the case. Because, you know, Omega won the title. Okay, Ospreay has lost. Okay, now there's no reason now.
Yeah, Ospreay. Ospreay. Ospreay needs this win. Who's Ospreay? There's a Ospreay.
Oh my god! Oh my god! I just now realized something funny.
What?
Win Ospreay.
Win Ospreay. There you go.
Oh my god, that's funny.
Kenny L. Mega. That's
W Omega. Okay.
There you go.
Okay, we're done.
That sounds pretty dope. Yeah, we're done. Yep.
I'm excited for this. I really think, I guarantee they're probably going to put this along with the main event as the last two matches. But I think this should honestly open the show to kick it off.
That's what most of my homies have been saying. Shout out to my boys, by the way.
Kick things off
They've been
with,
saying the same thing.
Yeah, kick things off with Omega and Ospreay, because you don't want to do your top 2 big matches one after the other, because that's just going to be exhausting.
That'll burn out the crowd immediately. Don't put one after the other. That is going to burn out the crowd.
Yeah, you don't want to burn them out before the actual main event that we're very close. We're seconds away from talking about. Maybe minutes, I don't know. But anyway.
Yeah, minutes, yeah.
I would really say that putting up Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay as the start the main show. Launch the pyro, welcome us to Toronto, and then let's begin the IWGP United States Championship match to kick it off. That would be amazing, and that would be, in my opinion, the right way to go. It's probably not how they're going to go, but it's the way I would have done it.
Please think, Tony.
Because the opening match is just as important as the main event.
Exactly.
This is because, you got to get the crowd hyped for the rest of the show. It's your job to do that. It also
sets the stage for the show as well.
Yeah, there you go. So, that's why I'm predicting Will Ospreay is going to win the IWGP United States Championship, and we will have, hopefully, a 2 out of 3 falls rematch at All In London, because I think Wembley Stadium would go nuts and wild for that.
Please.
So, who do you predict?
Yeah, Will Ospreay, honestly. I like Kenny Omega and all, but you wait, bro. You don't need to. You shouldn't have won in the first place, in my opinion. That's just me, but I understand now, going back to understand kind of why you won the title. Probably going to do, like Christian said, a rubber match at Wembley. If not, when people are pitching like Wrestle Kingdom next year, no, that's way too far away. No, do it at Wembley. Yeah, makes a lot of sense.
When it comes to Wembley, you want to put up as big a contest as possible, though a lot of people are probably thinking that they'll not do Will Ospreay Kenny Omega Part 3 at All In London, but rather they'll have CM Punk take on Kenny Omega, or have CM Punk and FTR take on the Elite. And I'm like, if they don't want to work together, why would they do this?
Don't force them. I mean, you asked them before I said it again. Last time I'm saying this.
Yeah.
Make money, shut the fuck. Make money, shut the fuck up. It's that. If you want to. You don't want to make money, fun.
Yeah. Actually, if you don't want to make money, what are you doing here?
What are you doing? Yeah. What exactly are you doing here? Stop eating man children. Anyways.
Thank you very much. All right.
Exactly.
Are you ready to talk this big dream main event? Willie has been waiting for a long while to talk about this ever since the moment it was first pitched. Ladies and gentlemen, the main event, the confirmed main event to close Forbidden Door, is going to be a match that we didn't think we'd ever see ever. Bryan Danielson taking on Kazuchika Okada. Bam! 1-on-1. My opinion, keep the Blackpool Combat Club as far away from this match as you can.
Keep everybody far away from this match. Nobody touches this match.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Tell everybody, if anyone so much as steps onto the stage for this match, they will not only be fired, but they will be banned for life.
You will be legitimately fired. It's not. I'm not talking like strict. I'm talking like legit fired.
Yeah, don't do
bye
that.
Bye.
Oh, I'm excited. Bryan Danielson is taking on Kazuchika Okada, and at last year's Forbidden Door, my opinion, Kazuchika Okada was not even in a match that was that good anyway. The IWGP Heavyweight Title Fatal 4-Way was almost a miss, in my opinion, because a lot of bad stuff happened, especially with Adam Cole's concussion.
Yep, so many injuries are on that show. Please.
Yep, Adam Cole, Hangman Adam Page, Kazuchika Okada, and Jay White for the IWGP Heavyweight Title. That's still, honestly, an improvement over what we actually got for this year's Forbidden Door, but it still wasn't that big a hit compared to, like, Will Ospreay and Orange Cassidy and a couple other matches that I saw. Exactly. However, this could be very different. I understand putting this match last, because if you put this, like, first, you're just literally telling everybody, pack up his shit, get the fuck out. You're not topping this.
Pretty much. If this goes on first, I'll probably turn off the show. That's the case. Not have anger or rage. I'll just be like, okay, I saw what I needed to see. No, that's really, this right here is the main reason I'm watching this show. Outside of Okada, I mean, Daddy's in this match. Outside of Ospreay and Omega, this is the reason I'm watching this.
Yep, this is absolutely insane. It's absolutely crazy and wild. You know what a lot of people were actually hoping for?
What?
And this is just me saying this is honestly pathetic. I've seen this a number of times on social media. What if they had Omega and Ospreay be the main event? And the reason for that is because Omega's going to win, and then Okada's going to challenge him.
No.
No.
Okada does not. No. No.
Like, why is people's obsession with seeing yet another Okada-Omega match?
That does not need to touch the U.S. soil. It does not need to touch Canadian soil. Leave it in Japan. Leave it alone.
Leave the whole thing alone.
Leave the whole thing. Exactly. Leave the whole thing alone. You can try and come with any excuse you want, but leave the whole thing alone, please. Don't overdo it.
But thankfully, I didn't see a lot of those comments, so it wasn't a majority of people. So thank God for that.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, Bryan Danielson was not at last year's Forbidden Door due to injury.
During concussions. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because Bryan Danielson with a concussion. Wow, that's a shocker. No disrespect. But who saw that coming? We did.
It's up there in age, dog.
He really needs to take it easy. Bryan Danielson, yeah, he just needs to take it easy now because, he's at that age. So that's why I'm saying this is the perfect time for him to face Okada. This is probably the only shot.
I think they're getting all these dream matches, so he's gonna probably dip next year. He's had his fun, and we know where he's going back next year. Home.
Home.
No,
indeed.
his home. His home.
Home indeed.
He's going home. His home.
Kazuchika Okada, without a doubt, is one of the best, if not the best, Japanese wrestler of all time.
If I think one of the best, one of the best. Like I'm saying this again, folks, one of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time.
That's because the other one you also consider in the same category is also in this match.
Yes. And there's many more, but D-Bry is personally for me is one of my personal favorites.
Wouldn't that be Bry D?
Yeah, Bridie. D-Bry, Bridie, Bryan Danielson, Bridie, I don't know.
Yeah.
American Dragon, the Yes Man. I don't forget it. Well, no, and when he just walks to the curtain, it's that's D-Bry to me. That's That's what I grew up with. So
I'm still hoping for the one match that'll make heel Balor be more, torn up than ever. And that's Finn Balor and Bryan Danielson or Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, people are wishing that on me. They're like, okay, now we got to officially break Bill Balor. That's how you officially break me.
Yeah. Put it at WrestleMania for a title.
Yeah, put it back. Good God. Don't
In this case, I'm excited for this because this will be my first time ever seeing Kazuchika Okada compete.
So cool.
I am so hyped for this. This is insane. Okada, Bryan Danielson, I don't think I could have asked for a better match to see in my Kingdom of Toronto. That place was sold out to the brim before a single match was ever announced because everybody knows New Japan. Everybody knows how great they are, how their style is. That's why. And there's not going to be many opportunities to see this, so this could be a very rare one. This indeed is a rare opportunity. I get to be in the crowd to see Okada and Bryan Danielson. I cannot wait. I'm super excited for this. There's honestly, I got nothing negative about this either. I'm just hyped.
There's no negativity with this. Just going to sit down, enjoy it, savor it, and just... It's like a freaking milkshake. And when you drink it, you feel all good and warm inside. I wouldn't say warm. You feel all good inside. And once it's all done, you're just like, yeah, that was really good.
Yeah, I was about to say, you've been drinking warm milkshakes. How the hell do you do that?
Well, I'm not going to go into... Actually, no, I don't. How do you warm up a milkshake? Don't say put it in the microwave. No, you can't do that. You can be able to explode the microwave.
Yeah, and also it's no longer a milkshake because the ice cream's gone.
And plus, warm milk, I hear, is... eh.
Yeah, I don't drink that stuff. I think I might. Here's the thing. I don't know for sure. I think I might be lactose intolerant.
I was till I grew out of it, surprisingly.
Anyways, though, I'm hyped for this match. I'm hyped for Omega and Ospreay. Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Even the other matches, while some have been questionable, there are a number of them I'm also looking forward to. So at least I'm proud to say that I'm going to be attending this show. I was concerned I might regret it, but I am not regretting this at all.
This show coming up, Money in the Bank is next week.
Yeah. So, it's time to ask the one big question. Who's going to win this dream match?
Well, the good thing is, Chris, you're not overusing that word like this company does. And this actually is a dream match that, again, they're overusing it, but this actually warrants it. Honestly, who's going to win? I'm biased as hell. It is what it is. I'm going with Bryan Danielson to win and beat Okada.
That's
I
amazing.
think
That
this
is
is
amazing.
Bryan's second time main eventing an AEW show. This first technically main event New Japan also, but it's the second time main eventing, a AEW television, AEW pay-per-view outside of what we had with MJF and the Iron Man match. Very good match.
Actually, if you think about it, he was also in the Anarchy in the Arena match, so he's actually main evented every pay-per-view of 2023.
What a superstar D-Bry is. Bryan D.
It's Bry D.
The American D. I don't freak this up wrong. The American D. I'm gonna go with Bryan Danielson. I love Okada. I do. I just don't think he needs it. I know you can say the same like D-Bry that Bryan doesn't need it, but come on, man. It's biased in me. I gotta go with my guy.
Best part about this is neither man needs it.
That's true. That is true. Neither man really. It's just a fun match to put out. No joke. Before they announced it, I was thinking
this match is the epitome of putting up one guy from New Japan against a guy from AEW and just having them duke it out. That's how honestly the rest of the card should be. But no titles are on the line. It's just two guys, or in other cases, these competitors are going up against each other. Let's see how it goes. It's called the best of both matches on the show. It's called the best of both worlds, or as I called this event, the best of three worlds, due to the fact of wrestlers from America, from an American company, against wrestlers from a Japanese company in a crowd of Canadians. It doesn't get any bigger than that.
And there are some guys from England. One guy from England on this show.
What I mean by that is, it's an American company, a Japanese company, and a Canadian crowd. That's why I said it's
all together.
That's why I said it's the best of three worlds. I have no idea what you just said, but that's weird. It's very interesting to know that Bryan Danielson, ever since showing up in 2021, did not main event a pay-per-view, but once 2023 hit, he main evented every single one.
Good. He deserves it.
MJF, then the whole Anarchy in the Arena, and now this.
Give my man everything he deserves.
Sadly, I think his undefeated streak of main event and pay-per-views in 2023 is probably going to end it all in. So let's just enjoy this while we can.
You think it's ending it all in? I think so, too.
No, actually, tonight. I mean, not tonight. Forbidden Door ends, because I'm thinking it all in. They're probably going to have something else. Either it's going to be the whole deal with MJF and CM Punk. I think that's what they're going to go with as well. Or MJF and Adam Cole. Or potentially Kenny Omega will Ospreay the 2 out of 3 falls. There's a lot of possibilities, but I don't think Bryan Danielson's going to be in the main event of All in London.
D-Bry will probably be in the mid-card, which is kind of weird.
That's fine, though, because I don't think anybody could really consider this a mid-card if they book it right.
That's
like we said, if they book it right.
Yes, sir.
Which, of course, with AEW, that's a really big problem. So, I really think the winner of the match is going to be Kazuchika Okada. So, we're on opposite sides for this. Okada's a 7-8 time world champion in New Japan?
I think so. I'm not keeping count.
It's okay. He's the longest reigning world champ of any kind over there. He held it for 2 years once.
Yep.
And when I look at all this, I'm like, I don't think whenever there was a bad match that Okada was in, I don't think it was his fault. It was his opponent.
Okada had matches.
I don't think Okada's had a bad match and everything. The one thing I'm just hoping for is, because you ever notice whenever they're in AEW, Omega's performances have been downgraded from his New Japan events?
Yeah, it's not like that.
I hope they do not do that with Okada.
Yeah, don't do that with Okada and Danielson.
It seemed like it did that a while for last year's Forbidden Door when he was in that 4-way. Okada did not perform up to his full potential as we had hoped.
Because they don't want Okada overshadow everybody else. Everybody else gets singles glory as well. Understandable, but come
in this case, it's the main event, though, because this is different.
I hope the same for all the matches. That includes the Isaac style match. That includes, I was going to say, the women's championship. I don't care about that. the tag matches we got. Just like, don't tone everything down. Let everybody just go out there, have fun. Don't kill each other, and please nobody get hurt.
And also, don't have anything go on way too long either.
No, that's the one thing that wasn't last year. Not Forbidden Door. What was that show last year? It was pretty long.
Double or Nothing.
Double or Nothing. Please, Tony, we know you watch this. We know you watch this. Do not let this show go past freaky midnight for me, because I'll be asleep. If I wake up and see that Bryan Danielson lost, I'll be upset. And regardless, I'm going to be happy either way because I love Okada and Danielson. But, like, if I wake up and I miss the match, then I'm going to be pissed.
It's like, I'd probably say that, you know, some of the matches should have, honestly, a limit of being at least 10 minutes, you know, for their matches for some of them.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple of them be 15. But it's these Omega and Ospreay, Okada, Danielson, those are the matches that I'm cool with either being 20 to 30 minutes each.
30. Don't go over that. I mean, I pitched the idea of my buddy Beast Mode. Let's go like 40 minutes. I'm like, no. Let's not do 40 minutes.
When it comes to Okada, Bryan Danielson, put it as a 30-minute time limit. And maybe, who knows, we might have a time limit draw.
As long as you don't overdo that, because, like, yeah, don't overdo that. You already did it, like, with Adam Cole and, which would obviously progress the story. But still, don't overdo that.
Yeah.
I would not mind it, though, with this one.
So you're saying Bryan Danielson, I'm saying Kazuchika Okada. Regardless, we are in for a hell of a time. I'm in for a hell of a party. Even though, despite the fact that I heard it's going to be raining a lot this weekend in Toronto, I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to have a good time over there. As a matter of fact, I also mentioned, the day I'm attending AEW Collision on Saturday, I'm going to be in the city of Toronto all day long because I'm also going to be attending live theater for a performance of Harry Potter and the Cursed Child.
Nice. Well, so, Christian, you said it's going to rain, right?
Yeah.
Coincidentally, the Rainmaker is going to be over there. So can he stop the rain?
No, he only makes it.
Oh, he only makes the rain.
Yeah, that's why he said Rainmaker.
Okay, there you go. We can't stop the rain.
All right. That's going to conclude our predictions to AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling's Forbidden Door. The first time we talked about it on the podcast, because we didn't talk last year, like I mentioned. Both of us had Florida trips, and it was amazing.
Oh, yeah, I got my weeks.
I really wish I could go back to Orlando. But as you all know, folks, we're going to be also talking about, we'll be back next week to discuss Money in the Bank, which will be in London, England. That's going to be exciting. We'll also be back also later at the end of July to talk NXT's Great American Bash, which will be in Cedar Park, Texas. And then, of course, the following week, we'll be back again to discuss and predict SummerSlam in Detroit, which I will be part of at the Ford Field with Mama Maracle. And we'll also be discussing, you know, All in London at the end of August. So we have a lot of stuff coming up in the summer. And, of course, there's another thing. WWE Payback is back. And it's going to be on September 2nd in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And I have plans to attend that one as well.
Jeez Louise.
Papa cheese. Ha All right, I hope you're excited for all that as much as I am.
Always.
Always indeed. I hope everybody is going to enjoy Forbidden Door. I hope I enjoy being in the crowd for that because I can't wait to hear the passion of the Toronto crowd for this shit. This is going to be insane.
Very, very good.
All right, well, you Baller, you know what to do.
Well, thank you. Hope you all enjoy the show this week. And with losers, this is our lounge. We'll see you in the next one for Money in the Bank.